My paper's title is Development Process for Enhancing User Interface in the Cloud Environment. And my name is Sang-Young at Namseol University. First, introductions. If anyone wanted to be provided with service in the wide range, are offered with high performance, availability, and stability, they have to be designed based on a cloud computing infrastructure, along with the development of such cloud environment service through the web are expanding in various fields. As the use of the internet becomes generalized and the cloud environment progressive, its application field has been expanded. Even kind of important document file related to the personal information may be shared through the cloud or web-based environment system. The web application generally provide service through interaction with the operating system and database system. As the amount of information available on the internet increase, the number of internet users continue to increase. Accordingly, it is considered that quality of web service have to be improved by analyzing information about users who use the web. The content of the website are important, but the convenience of content user must be considered. Alright, and reconstructing website that is already established is now becoming a major factor necessary for website management, since a website is a user-centered medium. There is needed to understand and revise user needs constantly. Thus, which is the most widely used among the cloud computing technology. It provides software service, namely to individual and business through online. In other words, it is an on-demand software service that enable user to have application software that can be used in a cloud environment, which also can be accessed and used anywhere in the world with only a web browser. The second is FoCoS. Its main purpose is to provide an application program development environment. This day, FoCoS is providing blockchain as a service, and Azure of Microsoft is a representative example. Its offered various infrastructure services such as server resource, IP, network, storage, and power required for server operating. However, cloud provide different infrastructure service restriction on the location, performance, and cost of resource may occur. Thus, APIs are also different, making it difficult to be interact with various cloud infrastructure. Therefore, it is difficult to build the on a large scale or operate flexibility in a wide area. Global scale service providers are paying a lot of attention to multi-cloud technology. They can build and operate on optimal computing infrastructure environment for various public cloud solve the problem. Multi-cloud technology is a next-generation cloud-based technology for connection, operating, utilizing, and managing two or more public or private cloud, which is a technology that integrate and operate multiple public cloud infrastructure service and enable flexible deployment, operation, and provision of cloud application on the multi-cloud infrastructure. The prototype for the user interface is to check the fundamental requirement by representing the basic direction of the user interface in the analysis stage in order to eject what is in the mind. Therefore, it is considered that an evolution scale has to be developed to enhance the user's understanding and research on visual cohesion has to be conducted to design a high-quality user interface. Visual cohesion for designing the user interface would help to improve the quality of user interface as it provides a visible prototype to the designer or developer before the system implementation. In addition, the visual cohesion can be a criterion for measuring the suitability between the layout for the user interface and semantic content. The visual cohesion of a business event in a user interface has to be designed to improve the understanding of business work and enhance usability through clustering so that business event may have a semantically relationship. Former professional developer prefer to visualize the business event of the user interface based on the scenario created by various verifications so that they can use it easily. This paper is to develop a scale of evaluation to enhance the user understanding and research on the modeling technique to improve the visual quotient for designing a high-quality user interface. The purpose of the visual quotient in this study is to improve the understanding and usability of the business system by clustering the business event of the user interface so that they can be related to each other. Therefore, this study proposes 4 types of objects that can improve the visual quotient of the user interface prototype and discuss an object-oriented design technique for clustering the object and the method of measuring the visual quotient. Second chat, managing user interface as a cloud service developed and progress a general and flexible interface that can adapt to change in the function and data of service is required of copying with them and type of parameter required for the cloud service and the method of access should vary according to the type of service. The following elements are necessary in order to enhance open service access: model-based interface through service modeling, external service software service that various type of access method and data format, and even through the target service to be accessed is changed. There is a need for an abstract model suitable for using external service in order to connect to the consistent interface without system change. The model should have scalability and convenience according to the authentication method of external service and the type of service, and the system should be able to expand the service that can be connected only by replacing or adding the model. Standard specification of software service. The parameters required by each of external service are different depending on the type. The standard service description method is needed to describe the parameter required for each service, such as the address of the service, the unit of parameter used in the service, the format of the parameter, the location where the parameter is placed, and the authentication method of the service. Parameter mapping for connecting between system and service in order to use the data using an external service in the system to be integrated. It should be possible to perform data conversion and mapping in a format that can be used by the integration target, not the type primarily required through the service. And more importance is that not all user interface design are treated as very significant issue, and user interface designer have treated this as a real troublesome problem. Moreover, the content-related measurements include the feature of function manipulation and meaning for user of interface business event. The visual cohesion of the user interface is a newly studied measure regarding the content of user interface based on the cohesion of the basic software engineering concept. This scale refers to the visual cohesion of concept of that extend cohesion, which is already well established measure of software engineering complexity to the user interface. Visual cohesion measured semantically are conceptually connect relationship between business events. This scale is based on the principle of combining semantically related element in a large group of units, which simplificates the overall structure of facilitating understanding of each unit and reducing interdependence. The following definition is required in order to apply cohesion in the design of such a user interface. And measure the visual cohesion of the user interface prototype by the object-oriented design model proposed in this study. We transform the calculation formula proposed by constraining into the object group as shown in the following picture 2. And thus, development process and design model. The proposed design model is a modeling technique for improve visual cohesion by exact object unit and clustering them according to the relationship between business event in the user interface. The proposed design model is that business events are clustering into four-level objects in the user interface, and in the user interface as shown in the following picture. This picture is number 3. Abstract clustering stage of a business event for a prototype. The design of business event object is the state of designing user interface business event object. And the following picture represents the structure of design result of business event object according to the design rule and of the business event object. It is a design state to analyze the input-output data of the business event object so that the user can easily understand and use automatic input. This picture is field abstracting modeling. And design of task object. Task object clustering is the design stage of creating user interface task object. It represents a unit of task object that cluster transition object of business events that are similarly transferred to the task. The last conclusion is, in particular, cloud service required a general and flexible interface that can adapt to changing in service function and data. In order to cope with that, as a new service are constantly being progress and improve, and cloud service vary on the required parameter type and access method according to the type of service. For more, this paper focuses on design rule and modeling technique of user interface that can support user to availability. The visual question of business event can be improved by modeling the prototype of the object-oriented user interface based on the object. The clustering method of business event object, task object, transaction object, form object has been studied in detail so that a prototype of the user interface can be created. The significance and the conclusion of this paper are as follows. First, the visual question is improved by designing the object of user interface based on functionally sequential and communicative object. Second, the object design rule of the user interface were created so that even an inexperienced designer could create a high-quality prototype. Thus, it enhanced the user interface, easy in understanding, compliance rate, and quality of graphic layout by improved object-based visual creation. Both functional, sequential, communicative, and procedural creation of business event is increased by clustering of user interface object. And then 6, we propose an object-oriented design method of user interface that can improve the understanding of business work by visualize the object type and the availability of the user interface. Thank you.